fuel cell. I ain't got no room. Boom! Just use it. Ta-da! Bring it to life. I have oil pressure under cranking. Why won't it start? I just started this yesterday. Mopar. Love me a Dodge. Oh, this episode's off to a great start. There it goes. We're off to a great start. Roll this window down. Great oil pressure. Okay, now we can start the episode. All right, let's get to the shop. You know, part of the reason this car handles so poorly, and when I say poorly, I mean like a bowling ball on a couple water beds. It's got no sway bar. And let me just sum up the handling for you as we casually go 50. It's bad. The worst is the steering. So anybody that's kept up with the Instagram knows that off camera, I actually pulled the engine after it was knocking, drove 2.5, 3 hours each way to pick up the only crankshaft I could find that wasn't destroyed. And immediately turned around and in 2 days put this engine back in this car. And then after I did that, I took it to a race event, exactly what we're going to do now, but I didn't film the race event. I was having all kinds of problems. I got, oh shoot, how much is that? Just under a quarter turn of steering. That's just not working at all. So I'm balancing it the whole time between those 2 points. And man, is it a challenge. Also to go with that, the brakes. The rotors are warped so bad from sitting and then being driven hard. They're probably warped when I got it. You hit the brakes and they get any heat in them, even just regular driving. And it jitters the pedal all over the place. And it starts grabbing the front end and yanking you around. it blew the head gasket. It blew the head gasket because the thermostat wouldn't open. And it built up too much heat too quickly and it burst. You know, this is all stuff that happened on the like 5 timed runs that I did. So to put it in perspective, I got the car, I got it good, I got it running, I took it to the event. We were on Summit Point Raceway, we were on Main. We ran 2 directions. Oh damn. Little bouncy. Hold on. Use 2 hands. Stay on the road. We did 2 pace laps behind a pace car to get a layout of the track. And then we turned right back around and we staged at turn 3 and we raced like an autocross, 1 at a time, until we got to the pit out. And we pit out on Main is where our finish line was, and it was timed just like an autocross. Wow, my hair is going wild. It was just like an autocross. That's how we were doing that event. And I got, out of 6 runs, I did 5. It's 2 miles, and we did 2 pace laps. So let's figure that out. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I got 14 miles on the car at all, right? And in that time, I blew a water pump, I blew a head gasket, I overheated the motor, the steering went from bad to worse, the brakes went from not being good to completely destroyed, and I discovered it's got no sway bars front and rear because I've never been under the car. But I got oil pressure. I did the bottom end right. I ended up pulling the thermostat out of it and driving it home. And that's when I confirmed that the head gasket was no good. That's what confirmed that because, well, on the way home, it still smoked. It didn't overheat, but it drank a lot of water from the radiator. And I mean a lot of water. So, that is today. Today's the 17th of April. Alright, 17th of April. May 10th, I got a race in another track cross. We're registered and we're paid. So we're not going to do this all in a couple days. I'm going to have to do it over the stretch of the next few weeks. We got sway bars for it. We got a steering box. We got pads and rotors. We got new head gaskets, ARB head bolts, and a whole lot of little fixings. We got time. We're going to put a 5-point harness and a harness bar in it, so that way I stay strapped to the seat. And the question is, can we do all that within, what is that, 15 days? We're going to find out. Since I paid for the event, I kind of don't got a choice. I got to make it. Oh, fuel! I forgot! Apparently, the car was dumping so much fuel on the raceway, they were worried it was going to slip up the guy coming behind me. Luckily, it never happened. And we also got to do the fuel system. Good news, I spent the last couple months collecting parts. So we should be ready. Speed limit, speedometer's off a little. It says we're going about 55, and we got $3 on the tachometer. Which means I think this sucker tops out at about 115. Oh, and it's got a vibration. And I can't tell what it is. Boom! Costume change. Aha! Now that I'm all set, we are back at the shop. And I guess we got to look at what we got to do to this thing. And just like last time, I registered for the event before I even had the first part to fix the car. Because, you know, my brain's big, you know. If you register for the event, you can't say no. You got to get it fixed, right? And the wife told me to fix the car. I told her I wanted to go racing, and she says, fine, but you better win. I showed her the budget, what it would take to make the car drivable, to be competitive, and she said, do it now. So, all right, honey, I got you. So here we are. I got permission to do this. Let's review some of the parts that I ordered. That's healthy. I love this turd. All right. So first things first, an empty box. You need one of these because you never know what's going to come in it. So what you do is you buy a heavy part, they pack it poorly in a box, and then you rip the box apart. All right. First things first, a reman steering box. I bought this on a certain blue smiley face website. Believe it or not, that's where half of these parts have come from. I'm amazed I can buy brand parts at a third cheaper than I can at other discount sites. So believe it or not, this came off the smiley blue. They forgot to fail me at tech last time because I forgot them. Sorry, we could have wrapped it around the bumper. A couple old tow hooks. These are important because your dingus go off and they got to tow you in. Well, need something to strap onto. Luckily on this thing, the bumper sticks way out. You can kind of find something. But for anyone else, install a set of tow hooks. These are like 15 bucks a piece. Hey, come on guys. So I got 2 red ones because I like the color. Oh, what else? This is a good one. Some radiator coolant leak repair. Yeah. We got the real fix for a coolant issue problem, but I'm putting this in regardless. Just in case I got a cracked block. Alright, now what's in this kit is an entire engine kit. This has got all my seals that I'm going to need, including some wheel bearings, a couple wheel seals, tow hook stickers, because you need to have them labeled. I got gasket kits for the intake manifold. I got good head gaskets. I got these off the jungle site again. I just got these and the intake off the jungle site. The blue smiley is where I got them. And to fix our head gasket problem, I also got a complete set of ARP head bolts. I wanted studs, but these were 50 bucks cheaper off of a certain discount site that has to do something with stones. And if you want your name actually said in my video, then go ahead. Send me an email and get me. We'll talk about some sponsorships. Because boy, am I looking. That's a complete engine gasket kit. Pads. Check this out. Optimum OE series pads from R1 Concepts. Also got these off the stone site. Pretty cool. Now the next big one that I got, these are kind of a big deal. They also weigh a lot. And this box is ripped open. I got some more stoppy parts. Now why is the bag open on the one but not the other? Either way, they're new, so I don't care. I got me some drilled and slotted rotors for this thing. And these are actually pretty beef for what they are. I was rather impressed. I was also impressed at the price point. The rock site got them to me for, honestly, a steal. What you would usually buy per rotor, I got a whole kit for. So I'm excited to put these on. I'll just leave them in the back of the car for now. Next, you can see the silver. Let me present to you, off the smiley blue, fuel cell. Now, why do I need a fuel cell? It holds plenty of gasolage. Well, here's why. This thing, when you went left, did a fantastic job. As in, not really. The alignment on it's crap. But when you went right, it got lighter every time I turned to the right. And it's because I was losing gas. The fuel would come right up through the tube, right down the side of the car, and was even just running out from the underside. So my buddy that was on a flag station said he was about to tell him to pull me off because the fuel leakage was so bad that if the other cars behind me were running just a couple seconds faster, they would have been hitting wet gasoline and their times would have been ruined. So that's a problem I didn't know about until a third time round. We're gonna fix that this time. No more hokey crap. We're doing it right. It came with a little fuel sender in it. You believe that? It's amazing. I got a couple more parts here. They're hiding. Let me get them out. Right here. I actually didn't buy this for this car. I bought this for another thing that ended up never happening. So I got a battery cutoff switch. I may or may not install that. I don't know yet. I've been after an excuse to buy these for probably darn near 10 years. A real SFI 16.1 rated 5-point harness. I might not run the 5th strap on this given the event, and I'm probably going to be running it in the bench seat, not the standard seat. I don't really have proper positioning for this strap, but nonetheless, we are eventually going to put proper race seats in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to weld a piece of bar between the B pillars, and we're going to wrap this around the B pillars, and we'll have ourselves a quality set that's actually going to hold us to the car. Because let me tell you from last time, racing on a bench seat with a seatbelt that's loose, yeah. And I got 2 more of a one thing, so I'll get the one thing and I'll show you what it is so you know that I got 2 of them. And last but not least, something very important. These are cam bearings that went in another motor. I got myself a complete weld together, cut and spliced to fit sway bars. I got one for the front, one for the rear. The front's going to get a little interesting on how we have to do this. So I think we're going to start in the back of the car. We're going to get our fuel cell in. I got a fitting coming tomorrow, so I can't hook it up yet. But I can get the stock tank out. I can get it drained. And we can get a lot of stuff done in the meantime. And I'm going to weld in our new sway bar. So these got mounts. You can either bolt or weld them. You can position them anywhere you want. It's kind of the whole point of this thing. It's got multiple adjustable fingers for it, so you can set how tight or loose it is. And it even came with these wee little hinge joint ends. Check this out. Pretty cool, isn't it? So you cut this to whatever length you need, and then you can just screw these in and out, and you can adjust your length. Which that's going to be good and handy, because quite frankly, I haven't been under the car to see how in the world this is even going to go on there. I'm flying completely by the seat of my pants right now. I don't have the facilities to tube chassis the whole car, nor do I have the money to tube chassis the whole car. So this is going to be kind of find where it fits and make it work. It's also got a couple of these little weld-on plates, weld-on tabs. Whatever you're going to need. It's even got bolt hardware if you want to be able to bolt it in and out. I'm honestly not worried about it. Alright, Let's get this can empty. I was gifted a bunch of toes recently, and I was like, yeah, I'll bring you your tote bag. You said keep the tote. I don't want it. Now I'm going to use the tote. There we go. Made a hole. Did you know the reported fuel mileage of this vehicle when it was brand new was 6 miles per gallon? By the way, it only made 145 horsepower. I think I get 3 now, if I'm lucky. Less every time you turn right. How long do you think this will take? Put your guess in the comments below how long you think this is going to take. If you get it right, I'll tell you good job. Alright, let's get this out of the way. I guess I'm going to cut these tabs. Probably solves all that up there. Pull it off and out she goes. Something like that. Yeah. We'll get it out. Don't worry. It's coming out. Let me see here. I have my Sawzall. I got a wood blade to cut galvanized steel. That seems about right. Get the gas out of here without spilling it or splitting our totally safe container. Supposed to put fuel in these, right? Fuel, coolant, bleach. What these things are made for. Well, not really. All right. I free you from your prison. One more to free. All right, I have freed the fuel tank. Huzzah! Only stuck in the rubber. You should be able to solve with a little pullage. Back. Done. This tank's nice. I wonder if it was new. How is that stuck on? It had a zip tie on it. Let me get that cleaned up. I don't want to lay in it. No more than I got to anyway. Man, that tank does look brand new. I mean, I don't feel bad. Oh. Oh, when you're tired and things just get grimy, suck it up. there she be. Mount Uno and 2. That bar is gonna sit here, and them arms are gonna run out here on this side of the shop. What I'll do is I'll move this brake line up here. I'll do the same on the other side, clean the tube, put my weld tabs here, and then it'll operate within this space. And I got plenty of room for this thing would be swinging up, because it's gonna sit about here. I guess it's gonna sit here. So that swing up is a lot. It should have all the down travel it needs. There's the other one. I'm not the best at welding upside down. mounted up there. Got a heim joint back there. I don't like how the welding on the axle went, but the rest of this came out all right. Got that in there. That one came out really bad, but it's on. Hopefully it don't break off. Here we go, guys. Finally. After a good while of trying to get that done, finished. Let's get up here. We're gonna put in the fuel cell. Regroup. Hey, one more thing that I did off camera. I took the tube that was in here. I cut her off, but I left just the end so I can leave the gas cap on it, just simply for aesthetics. It doesn't need to be there at all because we're going to be fueling up in that now, but, you know, aesthetics. That's it, I'm done for today. Sun's starting to set and I got a mess to clean up, but check out all we got done. That fuel cell is mounted, guys. That thing ain't going nowhere. Got it all welded underneath. We did our sway bar. Yeah. I'll say all in all today was pretty productive. So guess the only thing left to do is clean up, come back tomorrow, and do it again. Alright guys, here we are. Day 2. That would be 4. 2 of the dark build for track cross. And now we got to get on to the big stuff. The stuff that's going to really be time consuming and is the bulk of the work that I have to get done. And that's going to be head gaskets and steering. Let's do that first. Let's go ahead and get the car over there, see if we can't empty everything out. I got a temporary 1-gallon fuel thing rigged up. We'll pull the car right in here just like we did on the other stuff, and we're going to pull that engine, get it over here to the side, and then we're going to do our steering box and head gasket. Tripod's all crooked now. Look, I did math right today. It goes up, things go under. It made me feel good. Look at it, ran for 30 seconds. It's got plenty of water in it. She didn't run for too long for how much pressure was in there. Still got barely enough room to get in and out of here. Should give me just enough room to pull the engine back, turn the whole thing. Also gives me a little walking room to put that over there. Alright, now before we really get going, let's set out what we got. 2 head gaskets. These are the Perma Torque SD ones. Got intake manifold gaskets. This should be my gasket kit. Let's see what else is in here. These blue box studs, or bolts rather. I need them. And out of this whole kit here, well, it depends on how far down we go, it depends on how much we need. I'm hoping not to need any of this. That's going to be mostly what we need out of the kit. Looks like we got everything. I didn't done goofing on order something. Let's get this out of the way. Get this bonnet off. there she is. All her nasty, dirty glory. It's a shame I put so much effort into this thing and then it just immediately leaked from all the wrong places. Yeah, well. There is a very grubby engine bay. Yeah, that's nasty. No other way to put it, that's nasty. But there's our culprit right back there. There. That's our steering box. As you can see, there was no way to get to it with the engine in because I got to be able to move the manifold. You can't get to the bolts. So regardless, I had to pull the engine head gaskets as just a good excuse. I want to, but I don't have any time for any cleanup. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop, eat my sandwich, set the camera and everything back up, and then we're going to dig into this thing and get our new steering box in. lost count. Yep, nope, it's day 3. Day 3 of working on the Dart. I only have a couple hours this afternoon to do anything to it, so let's see what we can get into. So remember, got our engine in. It's pretty much hooked up. I still got to do flex plate bolts. I still got to do the nuts on the back of the motor mounts. And I think I still have 1 or 2 bell housing bolts to put in. But for the most part, she's in, so I can get on to the next most important thing, which is going to be the installation of this big old sway bar. Just like in the back, this is going to be a welding unit, and we got to figure out how in the world this is going to fit in there. I don't know if I ever showed you. Look how thick that boy is. He's a big boy. Sir Thickerton. So I'm thinking this thing has to go right over top of the engine. I think that's going to work. I'm looking at it, and I do think it's going to work. I just need to make some standoffs that come in, but I can't have them come in too far because I still need to be able to bolt the engine and get it in and out of the car. That's going to be a little interesting. Take a gander in here and tell me what you think. All right, so here's my engine. Boom. The Parmo 318, whatever the hell. You see, I got all the space in here, but this all gets filled basically back to about here. Gets filled in. So that gives me all this room up here. But then you see you got an alternator that goes right here. And I got my power steering pump that goes there. So that really puts this bar somewhere in there. Which puts me at the edge of the battery tray. And also at the edge there. My thought is to move this wiring. And what I'll do is I will cut this flat and I will weld something here that will come up and hold this bar in place. And then I'll mirror it on the other side. I'll probably have to remove the battery tray entirely. I'll probably end up cutting into the fender or something and moving the battery in. You gotta do what you gotta do. Decided to build a race car, so now you do race car stuff. That's how it goes. So I think in the meantime, maybe what I should do is mount my alternator just so I have certainty about where that's going to end up. And once I know certainly how far forward and aft I can put that sway bar in relation also to this hose, I'll be pretty certain about how to build the mounts. And I really do think I want to go from that corner and then triangulate it up to the fender on either side. But first things first, let's get that alternator on there and see how this is going to even fit. So I got to thinking and I used my sockets and the extension of brain that's in them to conclude on how I want to do this. So I measured on here the distance for 2 clasps and a heim joint at the very end, and then I gave a rough estimate for the bushing, and then I went through and figured out roughly where this is going to sit, which is going to be right about here, which is right near this tube, which puts me right in this crook here on either side. So I know I'm good to sit here. I measured up. If I put like a foot, I can trim to fit. However, that's going to sit best. And I think that's going to be it. If I want to get serious about this car at some point, we're just going to have to abandon all of this and put in something crazy. But we'll see where life takes me, okay? I got some other stuff in the works, and we'll see where life takes me. I'm not against making something of something. So let's just see where we get. But for now, it looks like that's going to be our best option. Other than buying a complete K member from a very specific company that sells a very specific sway bar, and that's my only option. Can always go that route, but I think this is going to give me far more adjustability. So first things first, I need to go get some steel. I'm going to cut that for what I want. Boom! There we go. This is going to be my sway bar mount. This is the frame of an old welder. A school quite a while ago was getting rid of a bunch of equipment, just let the students take it. A couple students that I knew took it, conveniently used my truck as a storage space for a while, and eventually came time for me to get rid of it and do something. I said, hey, if you guys want this welder, I'll help you haul it to the scrapyard. And they said, nah, you can have it. So I got me this ugly old welder that just didn't work. Well, I got a small MIG welder already, so what I did is I took this and I dismantled it, scrapped the heaviest parts that are the most valuable, kept the plating and these rail structures, and I actually used the plates on my Goldwing. Sometime whenever we're working on the Goldwing, remind me if I don't remember, and I'll show you inside my saddlebags. I actually made plates that go and pinch the saddlebag to keep them from sagging. That's kind of fun. I actually left the logo on the one side, just as a visual thing. This is so cool. I think if I take this, put a torch on it right there, the bender out there, that'll put me through right here, right at this lip. That lip is right here. Get it right there. That lip straight down. Puts me about there. Which I think would be a good enough place for a sway bar. Really stiffen up the front end. Either way, it looks like this general piece is going to be where I go. Right in there. By the time I bend that, it swings. That might work out perfect. Guess I got some setup to do. Okay, everyone, day 4 or something like that, because I haven't been here every day straight, and I've also only been in here a couple of evenings a few of those days, so I don't know. It's a day. We're here. So today we're going to do our other sway bar link, put our harness bar in, going to weld the tabs for the battery and get it bolted in, but I'm still waiting on cable to get here so I can run the cable. And I got one more part coming, that is the idler arm for the steering. I think that's where a lot of my play is. After that, I think she's done and ready to rock. So let's just take a quick little look at her, and we're going to get right into work because I want to get this done. I have some other stuff I got to do as well. So let's just get this going. So today, this sway bar link needs done, which means I need to bend this to similar of that, mostly by eyesight. And then I gotta cut a hole in here and run a thing and tie all these wires in a safe location. I hate this stuff, if I'm being honest. And then I got to weld this link together, weld that link together, weld the bracket on there, and bolt it all up. And then on the interior, go all the way around the car, cause I'm a dingus. I've already played around a little bit. I stripped out the door panels. I think I now know where I want the bar to go. I got my seats laying in here. I got the bottom bolted already. Yeah, the bottom's already bolted, but I still have to do the top and the rest of it. But hey, seats. And then we got to go in the boot here. I think in this boot, I'm going to move that box. I think we're going to stick the battery right here, right where the old filler neck used to be. And I'm just going to run the cable down and under the car and run it all the way up to where it's supposed to go. And still have all my switches and everything up there, just a long main power cable. And I have that cutoff switch. Might try to find a way to put that on or in the car. We'll see what I get into and we'll see how this looks. But for now, let's just go ahead and set up and get to doing the difficult welding thing and the measuring thing for more welding thing. And then we'll do the seatbelt thing, and then we'll do a battery thing. Maybe by then the battery long thing will be here so we can do the steering slop thing. Good? Good. I'm getting to work. Front sway bar done. Quite frankly, I'm not very happy with the welds on this whole project. Some of them burned in really, really nice. I'm really happy with them. Other ones, not so much. But as long as it holds, it's all that matters. I will get me a better welder at some point. In the very near future, if possible. But right now, yeah, you sway bar be swaying. Doesn't look like it exactly has a whole lot of twist to it, which was kind of the point. This beast is heavy. Let's stand on it and jump on it and try to make it articulate, see if we can do something funny. Well, it didn't break doing that. Sweet. That's going to be for now. Front sway bar done. I'll tighten up the links. And that'll be it for this. Now we need to look at doing our harness bar and our battery mount. And maybe my battery cable's in. I'll have to double check. But first things first, let's eat a sandwich. Yep. I don't like this. I don't like it at all. I ain't got no room. I don't like what I see. There's a dribble coming off the torsion rod. And directly under that, there's a stream coming off the power steering box. The very top of this thing, the seal might be no good. And I can't pull the box without pulling the engine. So we might just have to man wrestle this steering this event, because it's going to be what it is. I can only do so much here. Darn. Crap. Bad words. Bad words. Family channel. Not going to say it. Fuck. Well, I have stopped leaking the power steering fluid, so let's just bleed the system and see if it works. I got one more problem here, and that's the idler arm bushing on this thing looks to be completely shot. And we're going to see if we can actually get footage of this. I bought a new one right here. I've had this happen before in my pickup truck. When these things go bad, you're all over the road. It don't feel stable at any speed. So let's see if we can get this going. All right, love, go ahead and turn the key. No, don't start the damn thing. Oh, anything other than lock. Go ahead and work it left and right. No, not that far. Just in the play. Just wiggle it back and forth. It don't look as bad as it felt earlier. All right. Don't look as bad as it felt earlier, but earlier when I had the pitman arm off, that sucker was loose. So I think under load, that might be where a lot of my play is. I don't know. It was only a couple bucks. Anything to fix the problem. So let's pull that off and replace it and try again. Thank you. Now that everything is recording, let me get my wallet. We need gas. All right, got you a camera, got everyone a camera, got me a camera, we're ready. So, throw that in the glove box. Now, unfortunately, I do not have another harness belt set up for you, my love.
Okay, as long as this seatbelt works.
Well, if it's anything like the one I took out on this side, it works fine.
Uh-oh.
Come back, Samantha. I love you.
Love me, feed me, never leave me.
It's fuck me, feed me, never leave me. Oh, you're not referring to Garfield. Alright, this is stuckage. Why is that stuckage? Alright, so that one goes there. This one goes here. That goes there. That tightens up there. And leave these a little loose. Because I still need to
Reach things.
yes. I'm gonna pull them off there so they don't fall on you. Throw them in the glove box. Tow hooks. I totally forgot to install them.
Might need to do that.
Yeah. She ain't ever ridden in this car. She has no idea.
Camera's jiggling a lot.
It'd be fine. All right. Let's go put gas in this thing.
Woo! Test drive!
Let's find out if I actually made this darn thing any better. I never tightened down the distributor either, so we might have a little bit of variable timing going on.
Uh-oh.
It'd be alright. smoke is unreal. Ah, she hugs good. Oh man, no, this thing is not running good at all. This is the era they got rid of the corner windows that point air at you. Oh, that's bad. All right, that timing is, oh. Woo! Yeah, when you're not on, it ain't half bad. Oh yeah, she's controllable now, except for the fucking smoke. Wow! Holy that's bad. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry, love, that's bad. Oh.
It seems to be getting better the more you drive it, though.
Oh, it might just have a lot of crud in the cylinders or something. Oh, that was better. Alright, let's put fuel in the fuel cell. Good news, it don't matter where we go, because the fuel's in the middle of the trunk. I gotta get out of my belts to put it in park. Oh. Oh man, that smoke's bad. Woo! What's that right there? I call that front sway bar a success.
Alright, throw that out, that little bit on top.
Got it? That thing actually felt pretty stable. I love fuel cells. That thing just free flowed. All right. So, first experience in the turd. Sucks.
Smoky.
It sucks. Still smokes. Good to know we improved it. After I adjusted the timing, it is idling a lot better. This thing probably needs a real carburetor tune-up, and I want a different carburetor before I do that, but that's all later. Ourselves out, and hopefully something that doesn't stumble. Let's head back to the shop and fix your car.
You don't need to drive this any further?
I want to, but gas is expensive. upsetting though. Well, that was an adventure.
Thought you were at the end of the tunnel and you found there's more work to do.
Yes, I only discovered that I made it mildly better.
Ah, well.
Ugh.
C'est la vie.
I don't think I can get new brake hoses yet. I think I'm out of time and money. It looks like I'm driving this to the race. I'll see you at the track.